have been meaning to make this video for quite a while, and I guess now is like, as good as time as I need to make it. I'm doing some stuff right now, so if you hear shuffling or just my pure and utter exhaustion, I've been up for about 24 hours now. It's been a long day. Anyway, this is for everybody with children, and the intent with this video is twofold. One, to keep a promise to the guides and my own authentic self, and the other is to help you with your kids, because children right now are being raised, most of them, if not all actually, are being raised in a way that there could be a lot to learn. I hope that makes sense. And I'm not going to get into all the bad things what people are doing. Instead, we're going to talk about what you can actually do starting right now to raise your children and yourself and your inner child in a more holistic, I caution to say the word natural, but a more natural way to the way the human or whatever species you are is designed. So we're going to use human children as an example, okay? Because I have no idea how many different species are actually out there and how many comprehend this. So most people in the society are homogenized. There is a standard of normal, and anything that deviates from that standard is considered, in one way or another, unwell. Either mentally unwell, physically unwell, spiritually unwell, whatever. The issue is that you become unwell when you attempt to become normal. When you drug your children, you are unwell. When your child is having a temper tantrum or an attention deficit, whatever episode, or if they're exhibiting signs of hearing things or seeing things, and you attempt to drug them and say it's fine, it's just this condition, here's the name for it, and this is what you have, and this is how we fix it. That is unwell. That is not okay. In olden times, when societies lived more like family tribes, there were medicine women or medicine men, and the shamans in most of those tribes were, I think the politically correct word is intersex, but the original word is hermaphrodite, or the Native Americans call them two-spirit. Basically a being that has both male and female energies completely aligned and harmonized within a body that is male and female. Those were the people that were respected and put into positions of leadership and healing. So when your child, now that was kind of a mini tangent, but whatever. When your child is exhibiting signs that you would consider mentally unwell, that is your cue as a parent to begin researching and studying and reminding yourself of the spiritual world. I'll make another video later about mental illnesses in both children and adults, that are actually extrasensory perception abilities that have been coded within the matrix as mentally unwell or mental illnesses, such as bipolar. People that are bipolar are not broken. You're not going from one extreme to the other. You're utilizing the extremes of energy. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. When you have a bipolar episode where you're, to put it really basic, from one mood to the next, you go from one polarity to the next. You go from north to south, or you go from black to white. You go from hot to cold. Then you come back to a center point somewhere. When this happens, you have the opportunity to utilize that opposing energy to what is your normal to create something with it. So let's say, for example, you're having a really depressed time and you're crying and you're sad and you're upset and you think that you're broken, but you're not. You're quite literally being gifted a very distinct energy, like a fine bottle of wine or a food that's an acquired taste, like caviar or something. Energetically, when a bipolar episode triggers, you go from one to the other. In between that is where you're supposed to learn how to balance, right? Well, you can use that roller coaster ride to manifest something, to learn more about yourself, to actually feel it and go with it instead of fighting it, pushing against it, resisting it, which then triggers into a depression, which is a oppression of heavy energy that you are resisting, which is why it's called depression. Your energy system is depressed. It is pressed downward to where you don't feel light. You don't feel weightless. You feel heavy and burdened, and like you're wearing 1,000 wet coats and you just can't get dry enough to feel normal and feel the sun. You're not supposed to fight against it. You're supposed to work with it. Most parents don't have these tools. Most adults don't have these tools. When you're hearing things and it's like right now I'm actually getting into the other video I was going to make, but I'll mix these two in together. When you're hearing things and your kid is saying, oh, I'm hearing ghosts, or I'm hearing this, or they're actually clairaudient. When you're smelling things, I think it's called clairsalience. When they're seeing things that aren't there, or you think that aren't there, clairvoyance. When you're a child, when you're an adult, when someone in your life is telling you that something's going on emotionally or mentally with them, you don't have to have the answers, but if you at least know enough in regards to energy or spirituality, your intuition will find the answers to give to that person, to help them find the answers within themselves. Now, all this being said, okay, we will get into all of this correlation stuff later. What can you as a parent do when your child is exhibiting any form of not wellness? Bring them back to the simple basics. Which are what? What are the basics of a healthy human child? Creativity, spontaneity, fun, excitement, curiosity, laughter, reveling in life's simple pleasures, seeing nature, picking up twigs and rocks and playing, chasing butterflies and planting things. These are the things you're supposed to be doing with your child. You're not supposed to program them into YouTube or, a storybook somewhere. Reading to your children is fantastic. Teaching them to read is amazing. but using it as a distraction tool isn't. So let's use an example of something basic that happens to a lot of children that consume a lot of sugar. Attention deficit disorder, where the kid is just all over the place, can't focus, can't learn, they're having learning issues in school, they're doing this and that. What do you do as the parent? You know, what I'm actually about to tell you is going to work regardless of what condition's going on in 99.9% of the time. So take this and use this as a guideline, as a basic type of step 1, 2, 3 to get yourself back on track. So in the morning when you wake up, instead of acknowledging anything else that happened yesterday, just breathe. Spend the first few minutes of your day as the parent, even if it's just the first 10 seconds, as soon as consciousness is ignited in your body and you realize, I'm awake. Spend those few seconds to be grateful. Fill your being with the emotion of gratitude. Just do it. No one's judging you. No one's telling you if you're doing it right or wrong. No matter who you are, when you wake up, think a few thoughts of gratitude. If you can't think of anything, force yourself to feel grateful. Just lie if you're really a miserable person. I mean, think right now, can you emulate the feeling of gratitude? Just fake it. Can you fake it enough to where your body is slightly feeling grateful for anything? Your toenails. Feel grateful for your toenails. In the mornings when your kids wake up, that brief time span, the best thing you can do is break the pattern of trauma and issues and medications and school and this and this and that for just 60 seconds in the morning. Teach them to wake up and think and feel gratitude. Thank you for the oxygen I'm breathing. Thank you for this comfy bed I don't want to get out of. Thank you for this amazing day I'm about to have. And then teach yourself and your kids to say, great things are coming to me. This is the best day of my life. I'm so happy to be alive and with this family. Then utilize your imagination. Use it or it will be used against you and through you. So while you're feeling these sensations of gratitude and you're doing your, morning toothbrush and checklist, and you're, going to the bathroom, maintain this feeling of gratitude. Change it to appreciation. Feel excitement, feel curiosity, dance around, compliment yourself. Utilize your imagination. It doesn't have to be that difficult. So in the morning when you wake up and you're feeling grateful, just imagine a beautiful field of flowers with a sun shining bright and birds flying, butterflies everywhere. The most simple, peaceful image. Start with the basics. Even if it's just a bouquet of flowers, teach your children to wake up and imagine a beautiful scene and a sensation of gratitude. Within 3 days, you will notice your life change for the better. Now, when an episode happens throughout the day, whether it's a temper tantrum or anything, one of the best things you can do is physical touch. Not holding them hard, not, doing repetitive things, but a gentle caress of the skin. That child is having or was having a nervous issue with the nerves. The nerve endings point to the skin. They're also your hair. There's tons of them which connect to the vagus nervous system, which is in your face, all the way down to your body. When issues occur and energetic imbalances occur, you want to stabilize it. You don't want to pop a pill. You don't want to put them in the corner. You don't want to give them something to distract them. You want to bring them back into their body. Remember, everything you're experiencing is energy. All of this that you're experiencing was originally created by a thought you had, which was followed up by an imaginary scene, and that imaginary scene and the thought has created the narrative in your life. You can easily change it all around with your thoughts, with your imagination, and with the actions to follow. So, waking up in the morning, feel grateful, imagine a pleasant day. You can then add on to it, like, what do you want? New shoes? Fine, have some new shoes. You want a puppy? Imagine a puppy. You want a pony or a unicorn? Imagine those. You want your own island with a bunch of beautiful, castles and Cinderella things everywhere? Go for it. It's your imagination. Somehow it will manifest into your life based on the emotion you felt while you imagined that image. And then you're brushing your teeth, you're looking in the mirror, you're checking your teeth and all that. Be grateful for your teeth. Thank them. Talk to your body. Say, hey body, I love you. Thanks for, repairing while I slept. Let's clean your teeth and let's get all the gunk out of them. Let's, clean the tongue. Make it fun for yourself and for your kids. What else was there? Oh, just total side note. Please sing. Get your children to sing. It doesn't matter how good they are. It doesn't matter if you can sing or not. Get your children to be comfortable utilizing their throat chakra, their solar and sacral chakras, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. Get them to vibrate their body with their voice and the breath. You have no idea the amount of fine-tuning that occurs within a being when it utilizes the elements around them, through them, outwardly. And you can do that easily by singing. Drawing is great, but it should really be reserved for when you have those emotional, quote-unquote, bipolar flips, or when you have an inspiration moment where you really want to draw something you see, or you want to create something, then sit down and draw. Otherwise, it kind of becomes a chore, and then you don't want to do it, and then after a while, you just stop drawing. Same thing with those parents who teach their kids how to, piano lessons and karate lessons and stuff. If it's not fun, don't make your kid do it. Or those of you who are really tough on your kids based on grades they get in school. If they're getting bad grades in school, they really aren't interested in the stuff that they're being forced to learn in the public school system, which is basically teaching a lot of outdated information, and they're leaving out the spiritual aspect of life. So, if you take away anything from this video, I really, really, really am asking you to spend 5 minutes with your kids at any time of day or night and teach them how to meditate. It is the most important thing one of the most important things you can do. And if you don't know how to meditate, it is impossible to get wrong, and you've been doing it your entire life without realizing it. But you have to teach your kids how to be still within their own being. So how do you do this? You turn off the electronics. Like if someone's watching TV, go to the other room, close the door, or go outside in the park or in your yard or on the patio, or go to the playground somewhere, but your local playground. Take your kids, go there, find your spot, put a blanket on the floor, and sit down or lay down. Do not cross your arms or your legs, okay? Don't do it. Just sit comfortably and then take a really deep breath all the way into your body and just hold it for a second or so and then let it out gently. And then do another breath in through the nose, real gently. Exhale through the mouth. And then do it again through the nose. Hold it within your stomach or your lungs, and that, just hold it inside you. And then release it again. Those 3 breaths alone will help calm a lot. Now, what you do after that is ask your child to take their hand, either hand, and put it on top of their heart. While they're sitting down and they're breathing, just take your hand, put it on top of your heart to where you can feel your heartbeat. Now close your eyes, have them close their eyes, and take another deep breath. And the only thing you should be thinking is silence. If you hear words in your head, just say silence. Say silence so much until the word silence becomes the only thing going on in your head. And then pretend you're saying silence, but command it with your emotions instead. It's really easy, and you'll get it once you actually try it. The point is to not be thinking words in your head, to just have like this. Just be present. Hand over heart, breathing in, breathing out. When your thoughts rise up, take your attention back to your heart. That's why your hand is there, to feel your heartbeat. So whenever you lose focus, you feel your hand again, and you go back to the heartbeat. Just do this for 60 seconds a day. You can do this more if you want. By all means, go for it. But simply breathe. Pay attention to your breathing and your heartbeat. And anytime your thoughts go and they're like, you're thinking about a million different things, think about the word silence and what silence means. And if you need visuals, visualize a field of flowers or a field of grass over the hills and the sound of music, where it's just green grass and blue sky. Basic, simple, nothing but life. And just teach them how to do this. So when they're in school and they get, stressed out or they get anxious, remind them, you always have your heart, you always have your breath, and you always have a choice to be calm. Always. You can do this. You don't have to drug your children. You don't have to put labels on them. You don't have to be a single mother who is struggling. You don't have to be a single father who is struggling. You don't have to be a married couple who is struggling with a child with autism or with other conditions. You can do this. The key to all of it is energy. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos to help you with kids, because I'm actually really good at this. And I've been a mom in a lot of lifetimes and incarnations here, and it's something I do apparently every time I come here. Ironic for this lifetime, to say the least. But I guess this time, since I don't have my own children, I can help you take care of yours. So, step 1, eliminate all labels and all categories of disease from your children. Your children are perfect. They are not sick, they are not broken, they are not damaged. They are the way they wanted to be when they incarnated. They're here that way so you can learn how to evolve with them. And the more you evolve and the more spiritual and energetically attuned you become to yourself, the more your child's quote unquote condition becomes something you're actually aware of. So, please, please, please learn how to meditate. You have absolutely no excuse to not meditate. If you have the time of day to spend 60 seconds complaining, talking, thinking, reading about an issue that your child or you have, then you are contributing to that condition. Instead, claim your own birthright to be able to control your own thoughts, and for 60 seconds, disrupt the pattern of what you've been conditioned to believe by going inside your own self and knowing who you are, what you are, and how you function as a living, breathing being upon a living, breathing planet being. You have a purpose here, and it's more than just popping pills in your child or avoiding reality and sending them to school or private school or any of that stuff. You have a responsibility to that child and to yourself to learn and remember what a human being, or whatever species you are, is capable of. And most human beings have become very disconnected with their energy and their spirituality. So the first basic step is be grateful you exist. Step 2, learn how to be within your own body without having to drug yourself or those around you. Just ignore the external world. Listen to your heartbeat and your breathing. Whenever you lose track of the heartbeat or breathing because your thoughts race, remember, you are touching your chest. You can't possibly be that distracted if you're touching something, can you? And if you can, touch your other hand with your other hand. Do as much as you can to do nothing at all for 60 seconds other than breathe. If we can get the children under the age of 15, 20 to calm themselves down and to teach their parents, along with those kids and teenagers, to live a slightly more spiritually aligned path kind of life, where you're still doing whatever you're doing, but you're actually meditating in between, once or twice a day, and you're aware of yourself. Your children's children will live in a far greater world than we live in. So this isn't just about you and your kids. This is about you and your great-grandchildren. This is about you being a pivotal member of your ancestral line and getting your head out of society's ass and doing what's right for your own children and yourself. I intend that this serve you for the highest and greatest good of not only yourself, but the entire collective of life. Please take a few moments, hug your children, gently touch them when they're freaking out. Hold them near and dear to your heart. Tell them you love them. Draw with them, color with them, garden with them, Plant a little flower and teach them the stages of growth. Build paper airplanes with them. Make origami with them. Write fairy tales with them. Interact with the child in a way that it will remember these moments, and it will shape their lives to where they will repeat these stories to their children and to their friends and to their neighbors and so on. One small act of kindness per day will send such a ripple throughout the entire time stream. Just like that teacher you had when you were in kindergarten or preschool that you still kind of remember because he or she was so full of sunshine and you guys did the most amazing arts and crafts in school. You didn't worry about grades back then. You were just happy to see the sunshine and your cool little artsy teacher. Be that for your kid. I love you. And I'll post other videos later with more organized, a more organized layout. I apologize for the way most of my videos are. I don't really edit anything. I don't add on to them. I don't cut them up and like reconnect them later and make a bunch of, clips and everything. It's just I set the phone up and I record and then I hit upload. So yeah, I'm gonna go hug your babies.